Before we go any further, just want to say today's video is going to be brought to you by Fandomion. If you want to buy some really awesome anime merch from My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and Haiku, and so many other anime, I recommend using my link in the description box to check them out. And there's free worldwide shipping on orders over $39. You'll also get an additional 5% off using my promo code down below. For any of you guys who might be interested or on the fence, I highly recommend checking out their website. Pay attention to the size chart. That'd be the biggest thing I would tell you guys. But with that being said, though, let's jump back into today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generation discussion on the fallout from Boruto Chapter 80. And today I want to talk to you guys about a popular fan theory that I've been getting a number of requests from people now that it appears we're going into Boruto's time skip, and we know for certain that Sasuke is going to be one training Boruto. Everybody go, yay! People have been asking me, do I think it's possible for Boruto to learn Sasuke's Chidori, and if Sasuke would ever train him to use the Chidori if he mastered the Karma Seal. Now, I know the knee-jerk reaction by some is there's no way Sasuke teaches Boruto Chidori because duh, he doesn't have the Sharingan. And to be honest with you, I absolutely took this stance as well when I saw all the requests, but literally while I'm lifting weights and the overhead lights are getting in my eyes while bench pressing, so I'm seeing all these dots and everything and blinking them away, it hit me there might actually be a way for Boruto to learn the Chidori. Now, I will go ahead and say this up front instead of saving it for the back end of the video like I tend to do, whether or not I believe a fan theory is possible. If you put a pistol to my head right now and told me to say what I think, I don't believe we're going to see Boruto use Chidori, but I'm also saying right now, I'm no longer in the camp of saying, hey, this is impossible. So as we all know, Chidori was created by Kakashi when he failed to add a lightning style change in chakra nature to the Rasengan. The high compression of chakra gathered in the hands builds up to a deadly amount, and the jutsu requires moving at an insanely fast speed to use as a thrusting jab meant for assassinations. But as Minato said in Kakashi Gaiden and Naruto Volume 27, and as tons of fans in my experience tend to forget, you cannot safely perform this jutsu if you're a non-Sharingan user. The number of people I've gotten in the comment section over the years who have told me that I'm wrong when I say you need the Sharingan to safely use the jutsu baffles me, because people will say, well, kid Kakashi used it, you can use the Chidori. There's no problem to it, when it's like literally you're forgetting why Minato told him never to use it again and he called it a forbidden jutsu, and why Kakashi himself didn't call the jutsu complete until he got the Sharingan, because the user gets tunnel vision when they use a Chidori, and due to the fast speed and the straight line nature of the attack, it makes it easy to counter if someone sees the jutsu being prepared to use or is in the process of being used, because the user cannot change directions to keep up with the sudden change in direction because it moves in a straight line. The Sharingan Eye of Insight allows someone using the Sharingan to overcome these issues, because the Eye of Insight can predict the movements of the target, which allows the user to adjust accordingly. That's part of the reason why Naruto was able to, at point blank range, uppercut Sasuke in their final battle, because Sasuke ran out of chakra to use the Sharingan and cut off, and Naruto decked him. That's why Sasuke, after he showed Boruto the Chidori, he said like, yeah, you're never going to be able to use this because, dude, you don't have the Sharingan. However, that was before Boruto got his Karma Seal. That was before Boruto got full mastery of Karma and should be able to use the byakugan of Momoshiki. That was before Boruto potentially unlocks his jougan at some point. Working things backwards, starting with the jougan, we've already seen it has precognition because it allowed Boruto to see Momoshiki's movement and adjust in real time, and it allowed him to predict Urashiki where he was going to come out of his space-time portals in advance. So the jougan isn't the craziest option to allow Boruto to use it, because the eye has some of the same properties of the Sharingan in terms of precognitive abilities, and honestly, it'd be the easiest pill for people to swallow. Boruto got that eye and turn around and use the Chidori shortly afterwards, because it's pretty much universally understood the jougan is just downright busted. With the byakugan, we've never seen a byakugan user use a Chidori, but I don't think it's out the realm of possibility for a byakugan user to use a Chidori if they're taught it. For Boruto, this would only be possible if he masters the Karma Seal to a point where he's able to use Momoshiki's byakugan in battle, as really as Jigen and Kawaki use Ishiki's dojutsu. While we've seen Boruto manifest the eye at times, we've never actually seen him use the byakugan in battle. However, this is where things get really tricky with the byakugan. The eye itself is superior to the Sharingan in a lot of ways. Whereas the Sharingan can only see chakra as a color and see through some obstructions, the byakugan can see chakra to a point where it sees through damn near all obstructions. It sees underground, sees several dozens of meters in advance, and it sees the chakra pathway system in great detail. However, this is where it does get tricky. In Naruto's manga, in particular, in Naruto volume number 9, Neji was able to see every tiny detail that Hinata made in real time with the movements, but it wasn't precognition. He was seeing them in real time, whereas we saw Sasuke, when he unlocked his 3 Tomo, slow things down to a point where he was seeing movements before they happen and seeing the trajectory of attacks before they even completed. It isn't until we get into the anime, in particular Boruto's anime, where we start to see what looks like precognition abilities applied to the byakugan. So if we go by Naruto's manga, which that's what I use as a primary source, if I have any doubts on anything, I go back to, is it in the manga or not? You can make the argument, given how quickly the byakugan can see actions in real time and break them down super quickly for the user. Even though it's not precognition, it's still close enough of a substitute for the user performing Chidori. They should be able to adjust in real time to sudden movements made by their target because they break them down in real time itself. If we go by Boruto's anime, however, where it's flat out shoved in our faces, there's precognition, which, as I've said numerous times before, Masashi Kishimoto literally stepped in to restructure and rewrite Boruto's episodes 8 and 9, where in episode number 8, where it's implied precognition is applied to the byakugan, then we could see a usage of Boruto's anime addition to the eye and say, hey, the byakugan gives him the precognition needed to safely perform the Chidori despite not having Sharingan. The other thing that comes to mind with Boruto using Chidori in a safe manner is due to having Momoshiki inside of him. If he's able to master his knowledge of Shinjutsu, there might be a Shinjutsu available to Boruto which buffs up his precognition abilities or buffs up his eyesight. Given all dojutsu come from the Otsutsuki clan, it doesn't sound crazy. There might be a Shinjutsu that gives for advanced eyesight, even in the short form. If it came at the cost of enhanced eyesight like we see in Demon Slayer with a certain character I won't name in order to avoid spoilers, that could be something that pays off in a great way because it comes at a great cost. However, I think while it's a tradition in the series itself to pass down your ninjutsu to your children and to your students as a part of your Will of Fire, I do think you run the risk of giving rebirth to a meme that we saw a few years ago where people were calling Boruto a custom created character who gets everybody's jutsu. Again, there's a narrative set in place in the series to pass this down, but I think there's enough people who miss that aspect of the original series that it will lead to a vocal minority, causing an echo chamber of bad hot takes online that leads to another false narrative that gets a bunch of legs that doesn't die out no matter how many times you point out what they're saying isn't true. A perfect example being how Boruto's a spoiled brat who's disrespectful and he doesn't train, which anybody who reads the series knows that stopped being the case years ago. I feel like this opens up the same problem yet again, especially after we've already seen Sasuke pass down the jutsu to his daughter. It almost becomes an issue of diminishing returns. Those same people will not get mad about the fact that in Naruto's manga, Minato made the Rasengan, Jiraiya learned it, Kakashi learned it, Jiraiya taught it to Naruto, Naruto at the age of freaking 12 in the manga. Scrooge saw it in the anime. He was 12 years old in the manga teaching Konoha how to use the Rasengan. Those same people won't bat an eye, but if you do this, they're going to get pissed off. Personally, I think the better compromise is Boruto learning a lightning release jutsu that doesn't rely on the high speeds and the close quarters of the Chidori, similar to how Kakashi applied aspects of that jutsu to the purple lightning but change it to a mid-range attack. Or if you go super big brained, if Boruto's chakra levels grow large enough, you could pull a third Raikage and use the lightning chakra armor to amp up the speed and the reaction time, which is how the third Raikage was able to use his Hell Stab, which is low-key very similar to the Chidori, and that both of them move at a high speed in a straight line and use a thrusting jab, but the lightning chakra armor allows for the user to adjust their movements as needed. That being said, I'm so curious to know what you guys' thoughts on this matter is. Do you want Boruto to learn the Chidori or not? Is this a issue of diminishing returns? While you think that over, click here to watch this Naruto Explained video.